Hi guys, this is Rebecca with a tutorial video for the Spinitron system for Raven Radio volunteers. And if you're new to this process, basically because our web streaming has grown in popularity, we're now required to document our playlists for 2 weeks out of every quarter and submit them as reports to an organization called Sound Exchange. And they deal with royalties for various artists. I wish I could say this was optional, but it's not. So just because you don't have a show during this reporting period, we'll be doing this from here on out, so you might as well learn the process and become comfortable with it. It's really pretty simple. Now you can create your Spinitron playlist before, during, or after your show, however you like. I do ask that if you are doing this after your show that you do it in a timely manner, as I still have to collect all the data and get it ready to submit by my deadline. So any way you can help out with that. And of course, I'm always willing and available to help during office hours. I'm happy to sit down with you and show you this process as well. Hopefully this tutorial video helps though. So Spinitron.com is where you're going to want to go, and click over here on log in. Brings you to this screen. You can click new playlist and this will pop up. Let's say that for the purpose of this tutorial video I'm doing a playlist after my show. So let's say after the show, and it will default to today's date, but I can go ahead and say, you know what, this is a show that I did yesterday on the 19th, and that was the Good Day show with Taylor. Let's say I subbed for that. I'm going to leave my timestamps under manual and go ahead and hit submit. Okay, here is the screen where we're actually going to make our playlist. So if you're using Spotify, it makes it really easy because all of the information you need is readily available to you. If you're going to be using iTunes, that would also make things a little bit easier. You might have to go digging for the record label. And if you're using CDs and vinyl, you can always just be very diligent while you're doing your show to write down the notes and make sure all of that information is something you have when you go through this process. However, if I were you, in terms of just making things easy, during at least these 2 weeks out of the quarter, I would consider using Spotify just because it is right there for you and you can kind of go back and forth and find all of the info that you want. So the info that we're looking for is artist, song. Composer is really just in here for folks who do classical shows. It's not a required field. Disc, which is the album name, the record label, and the duration. And this start time will change. It's actually the start time of every song that plays, but we're going to start, the only time that we're really going to have to deal with it is at the beginning of our show, and from there it just kind of auto calculates. So let's go ahead and give it a go. I've got my Spotify playlist right back here, and we will have that up in the background. So under time, I'm going to go ahead and change the time because the Good Day show starts at 9:06, and I can click anywhere over here and it automatically changes it. You'll see that the duration defaults to 3 minutes, so you really want to make sure if you're manually entering things in to change the duration of the song to be accurate. So let's just get started here. So my first song is A House is a Home by Ben Harper and Ellen Harper. So I'm going to type in Ben Harper. And as I start typing it in, you see a whole bunch of options pop up. Here's Ben and Ellen Harper, and A House is a Home is the first thing that comes up, which is lovely. And Childhood Home is also the disc. It automatically entered in the label for me, which is great, and the duration for the song. So I'm going to go ahead and hit submit. The next one is Dolly Parton, so let's go ahead and start typing in Dolly Parton. So you can see here there are a couple of different spellings for Dolly Parton. You want to go ahead and make sure that the right one is selected. People just like you are the people who are creating this database, so every time somebody spells something incorrectly, it goes in there as an entry incorrectly. So you can think about it, on one hand, each song that you're manually entering in is one less song that you ever have to look up again. But it also means that there can be some spelling errors there. So we're going to go ahead and click on the right, Dolly Parton. There is the song that we played, and this is the disc, the album, and the duration. I'm going to go ahead and hit submit again. She's a Rainbow by the Rolling Stones is next. So here is the Rolling Stones. Now, She's a Rainbow is not coming up. That is fine. I'm going to manually enter that in. It's not on any of these albums, so I'm going to type that in. And it looks like that is called Big Hits and Phased Cookies. Big Hits and Alright, so now the only thing that's missing here is the duration of the song and the label. So because I've already clicked on the album itself, again, I just clicked on the name of the album, I can scroll down to the bottom here and you can see here is the name of the record label. So when I go over here, I can type in KCAW, music and records. That's fine. And if I go back to my other page, I can go to a shortcut and just see that it is 4 minutes and 12 seconds long. So 4 minutes and 12 seconds long. And you can see that that auto changed there. And I'll hit submit. So let's say this is basically the end of our playlist. Song note is just in here, so if you go over your time limit, that allows you to add a little thing that says faded out or something like that. It's not required. You don't have to use it. Also, this adding set break notes, it is also not required. Sound Exchange does not seem to care about set breaks, and they don't really seem to care about if you have some extra time at the end of your show. So let's say my show goes till 10:01, but I'm done entering songs for the hour that I played at 9:50. They don't care that there's 10 minutes that I appeared to have done nothing. They just care about having the songs that you played during your show in here. One more thing that I will show you is that if you're going in here, you can edit any of these things after the fact. So if I actually accidentally typed Rolling Stoned, I could go back in here and correct it. I have to hit enter to get that edit to stick. If I click over here, it will revert it back to what it was before. So clicking that and hit enter. Also, if you forgot, say, to start your show at 9:06 and this was still 9 o'clock, one thing that you'll want to make sure you do is click this auto checkbox. I don't know why it defaults to being unchecked, but what it allows you to do is make changes to the time, and then it automatically calculates all the subsequent times. So if I change this to 9 a.m. and hit enter, you can see all of these things adjust. And if I go back in and change it to 9:06 and hit enter, it automatically adjusts. So one other thing, if you start this process and you get called away and you want to come back to it, that's not a problem. You just need to hit close playlist. I know it looks scary, but it will actually save your playlist. So you close this, and then when you come back and you want to find your playlist again, you'll log in and you'll still go under playlists and you'll say browse, and you'll select the day that we made this playlist, and there it is. And here's our playlist, and I can just hit enter and it brings me right back into here. I could change anything here that I wanted to or needed to if I had put the date in wrong, and hit submit. Alright, that's about it. Let me know if you have any questions, and thank you so much.